Welcome to the Sisters Like Us podcast. I'm Lakin.
And I'm Allie, and we're here to share our perspectives as sisters from two different generations.
So grab a glass of wine
Or a bottle.
and let's dive in.
Here we go again.
We are here for episode 3 of the Sisters Like Us podcast. We're going to talk about social media.
Bear with us. Might be a long one.
We honestly have no plans for this episode, but we knew this had to be a topic because it is definitely, I think, one of the biggest divides between our generations. Not even just in that, like, when social media became a thing. Like, I didn't get Facebook. I didn't get my first, which was my first social media platform, until I was a junior in high school. What's your first memory of social media?
I think my first, is definitely Instagram.
Okay.
But I also have a Facebook, and I got a Facebook, but...
That's to stay connected to the older generations, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But, I also, I don't even know if this is, social media, but, Ask FM.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I used that.
I don't know if that counts as social media.
No, but that was weird. That was a weird...
Yeah, if we're going that far back, I'm talking AIM, Instant Messenger, and, AOL chat groups for me. Yeah. But, I'm talking,
Oh, my God. Did you have Kik?
No.
If we talk about chat groups.
Let's talk social media now. You pick up your phone. What's the first app you open?
Yeah, Instagram, I would say.
Instagram, okay.
So, but see, it's just, times have changed, though, because Snapchat is a big topic. We could talk,
That's what I thought you were going to say, was Snapchat.
So, Snapchat streaks.
Oh, geez.
So, it's, how many times every day, you Snapchat a person, you have a streak for a certain amount of days long. Me and my best friend from high school, who's also named Allie, I would probably say we have probably, in all of Snapchat users, we probably have one of the longest Snapchat streaks because it hasn't even... I think it's 7 years long.
That's bananas.
So it's 2,700 and something days.
Oh my gosh.
And I think Snapchat is I got Snapchat in 2015, I think. Because you can see when you got it.
Okay.
So we have to have one of the longest.
That is just blowing my mind right now.
That's probably making people cringe. But now it's just I don't really have any other ones. I used to be in high school have
oh yeah, you were
so many, and I had to put an emoji in front of everyone's name so that when I mass snapped everyone, I could just select them.
Oh my gosh. But you still use Snapchat.
I do.
All the time.
Yeah, I do. For a while, it was the only form of communication that in my generation, people still texted and stuff, but yeah, it was used widely for just text, you could chat on it. So
that's one of the things that blew my mind about it was your generation. And I remember our brother trying to do this with me at one point. I had Snapchat for a handful of months, and then I was I can't deal with this anymore. Yeah. But he would try to send me a text via Snapchat, and I'm no, I'm not communicating that way.
I don't really like it anymore. It's also one of those things that when you open it, you can see when someone opens it,
ooh.
When you were, talking to guys.
Yeah.
In high school and stuff, and it was oh my God, he left me on red. It would be he opened your Snapchat
and didn't respond.
So,
oh my gosh.
Which I still, it's still a thing. I still think about that.
Right. So if you're, out at a bar, are you going to exchange phone numbers or are you going to exchange Snapchat?
So, my roommate and I were talking about this a while ago. Now, I do phone numbers. But if you would have asked me, probably 2 years ago, it would have been Snapchat. Or we can talk about this in another episode, but dating apps.
Oh yeah, no, that I feel could be dating apps, etc.
Yeah, I feel it's a mix. When you start talking to someone on a dating app, they will either say oh, add me on Snap, or let's move this conversation to Snap
before you move it to text.
But I am no, here's my phone number.
Here's my phone number.
Because Snapchat's just you're not gonna. It's just, I don't know.
Interesting. So you still use it for communication, or
not? I would just say not as much.
Not as much. And then, but you also post on your Snapchat story.
But also not as much. The only reason why, so I did post on my Snapchat story today of us recording the podcast, but Instagram stories are way more common now. People never post on their Snapchat story anymore.
Okay.
But private stories are big.
Tell me more. I don't know what you mean.
Okay. So a private story is a story that you can have on Snapchat where you can manually select who can see it.
Okay.
So
kind of like the close friends feature on Instagram.
Kind of.
But you can pick for that specific post.
It's like heinous stuff. Like when you're like out drinking or when you're like being funny or like those kinds of things. Like, or if like a lot of the time, like if my friends and I have a funny like text exchange, I'll screenshot that and put it there. Okay. It's kind of like a safe space.
Right.
To like rant and be funny and be stupid.
But communicating with more than one person.
Yeah. So
versus just sending it as a text to somebody else.
Yeah, so like with my like really close friends, we have like a group chat text, and we use it. It's like always going off. But we also have a group chat on Snapchat, so instead of, which I feel like this might be a difference. So you might have like group chats with your friends, and like when you're like doing something, you send a picture in the group chat.
Yep.
Like I sent it via Snap because it's just easier for me to take a picture and then send it there.
Yeah. Is there any of the thoughts of doing it that way because you know it will disappear, or
no?
Okay.
So what we talked in a previous episode is it was saying like people use Snapchat because it like
will disappear,
right? And like same thing with like Instagram stories, like they disappear. Snapchat stories, they disappear. But Snapchat has new features now. So like now you can save snaps in the chat. You can save the text in the chat. You can manually choose if you want them to disappear after 24 hours or if you want them to stay.
So it's not a big of a driving factor anymore.
Yeah. Snapchat has like been updating their stuff. I don't really think it's gonna die off anytime soon, but it's slowly, as I've gotten older, become less of like a thing that I use.
Right. But
much. Yeah. But I still use it every day.
And it's multiple times a day.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still a thing, I think, that really is exclusive to your generation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, I don't really know if any of my friends have it. I mean, if they do, I don't have it. But, and I don't know about the next generation, or if all of the features of Snapchat is being captured on other platforms, that the next generation won't feel like they need it. You know, if it will forever live as a Gen Z social media app.
I think, I would think it will. Yeah. Probably. Like, it would be interesting to see if, like, people, like, in this new generation. Right. But I think they're going to use it.
You think they are?
Yeah, actually. I don't know.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting. But Snapchat is a lot of my, one of my first social medias.
Oh, yeah.
And then, one I consistently use. Not my favorite, though.
Okay.
Instagram is my favorite.
Well, let's go back to Instagram, because that is definitely the one we have in common.
I, love Instagram.
What do you like about Instagram?
I hope it never dies. It's just, it's aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's so fun to, create your feed and create your vibe. And it's, so fun to post things on stories, super artsy. I just love that aspect of it. But it's also fun to, they always add new features. Photo dumps are really in right now.
Yeah.
So, highlight, just, all of, my highlights. You just posted,
putting 10 photos together in a post.
Yeah. Because, a long time ago, it was just collages. You just made a collage.
Yes. Oh, if I scroll back to some of my old Instagram, it was a collage.
My old Instagram was, for a TBH and rate.
Sorry, what?
So, you like the post, and then I would tag their Instagram handle and give them a TBH, was a to be honest. To be honest, I kind of think you're cool. We should talk more and be friends more. Rate 6 out of 10. That's what you would do.
Nope, that's what you would do. I would not do that.
Yeah.
To be honest,
my first social media memory is doing those.
Really? Okay, well, TBH, to be honest. My first use of Instagram was because Instagram was the only place that had filters. Facebook and actual the photo app on my phone did not have filters. So I would post photos on Instagram to add a filter. So then it would save to my phone, and then I would take said filtered photo and go post it to Facebook.
Yeah. Filters, became a big thing. Now there's just so many apps that you can use to edit.
Oh, yeah. You don't need to edit on Instagram.
If you do,
yeah, there's better apps.
I don't know who still uses Instagram filters, but if you do, no shame. But I remember those, and they had some interesting ones.
Yeah.
I remember that one that was rainbow and brick. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, they were weird,
and it was oh my god, yeah.
But Instagram now, I feel
well, it's so different now.
Yeah.
The way I feel this is interesting. The way Snapchat looks now from 10 years ago, like, it's not much different. But, like, Instagram, like, the logo's completely, everything has changed.
And how people use it has changed.
Because it used to be, like, kind of, like, you know, it was, like, the Polaroid, like, for the icon, and it was, like, kind of, like...
It was just a photo sharing app.
Which is kind of fun and trendy, and now it's, like, super modern because it's, like, rainbow and, like white.
I also feel like, though, there's a difference between, again, my generation using Instagram. It's still a highlight reel, but I'm way less concerned with the aesthetics and having everything look perfect than we
found out.
But so do you think that's your generation, or do you think that's your personality?
I think it's my generation. Like, most of the time, I have some people that it's, like, not a big deal, but most of the time, like, what I do every time, I edit a picture.
I was going to ask if you were going to share this, because I think this is bananas. There's apps that do this, by the way, but go ahead.
I know, but, like, so I take a picture, I post it on Instagram, screenshot my feed really quick, and then I delete the photo so I can see, like, what it looks like.
I wish you could see how big my eyes are rolling. Like, what?
But it's, like, so, like, it just, like, helps me, like, visualize. And, like, I actually have, like cute photos, like, archived on my feed because it doesn't go with it right now. I wish I could show, like, go to my Instagram and, like, scroll down. And it used to be so bad to the point where, like, I had, like, my own preset, which when I say preset, I mean, like, I was on Visco and I used the same filter on all my photos, which we could talk about Visco. But, like, the way it's edited, like, makes me look, like, orange. Like, my hair looks, like, super blonde, like... And it's just, like, a whole chunk of my Instagram. And it's, like, I'll show you after this. But, like, it's crazy. You should go look at it.
Instagram is definitely the app I use the most. It's the one that I open first when I pick up my phone. It's the one that I have the most minutes, like, screen time, and that I'm always trying to decrease. Because if I'm going to scroll, and now when we're filming this, Threads is literally 3 days old. So, yes, sure. Right now, am I find myself scrolling more there? Sure. But regularly...
Yeah.
If I'm going to scroll, I'm going to scroll Instagram. Okay, before we move on to newer ones, because we are obviously going to talk about the current, probably hottest app right now, let's go back again a little bit to Facebook.
Okay.
My generation still loves pieces of Facebook because that was the first social media that we had. But now it's gotten this reputation that it's like only our parents.
Well, okay. I use Facebook for the purpose of connecting with, like,
that generation.
Yeah. So, like, Father's Day, Mother's Day, like, birthdays, like, those kinds of things, like, I'll post on there. And, like, I'll keep up to date with my profile picture and my cover photo. Yep. And I used to, in college, like, I had an album for each, like, year I was in school. Like, junior year, obviously, you know, the years of school. I occasionally, like, I would add photos into there. And honestly, like, I did it so people could see what I was doing, but also in case, like, I ever lost those photos, they were, like...
It's true. It's nice to have them saved.
In one place, yeah.
There are lots of times I want a photo, and if I don't have it on my phone, because I used to not be good about backing up photos on my phone, I would go scroll back on Facebook.
I have so many photos in my phone.
Oh, yeah, same. I think
over 30,000.
Same.
Yeah, it's really rough out here.
I'm trying to get through them before the baby gets here to, like, clean them up, to have space on my phone, but also just, like, not have so many photos. But that is
like, my iCloud was, like, yelling at me, like, a couple weeks ago.
I also used to upload albums. I think you've probably seen, like, the funny memes about how Gen Z would cringe at millennials for knowing that we used to upload albums just for a night out. And,
oh my God,
like, one night out, and we would upload all the photos. Well, let me, again, backtrack. It wasn't from our phone. It was a digital camera that we would take these photos on, and then we would upload them to our computer and then upload them to Facebook, come up with some stupid title, tag everybody in the photos. Like, it was, and then for a while, Facebook had a limit. I think it was 60 photos per...
It's 40.
Album? No way. It is not that.
Oh, not per, but, like, to upload at a time.
To upload at a time. No, but it was per album. You could only have 60.
Oh.
And so then you had to do a part 2 if you had more than.
Yeah.
I actually think it was lower than 60. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. I mean, I use it, but not, like...
But then I also use Facebook for groups because I don't feel like any...
actually, yes. I am in, like, a handful of Facebook groups, like... One Drink and Friends is, like, a huge one, and, like, This area. Okay. Well, I mean, there's like thousands of people in it, but it's just like a ton of girls that like live in Chicago, and they're just like stuff from like, hey, where should I get my hair done, to like, hey, like I went on the, oh my gosh, there's this one group that's Are We Dating the Same Guy?
I've seen that one as recommended to me. I'm like,
oh my God, I'm in it, and it's the funniest thing ever. It's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I feel like there are no other platforms that have replicated that.
Yeah, I would agree.
So that, I feel like I will always have Facebook for that.
Yeah, groups are good. Like, when I was younger and needed, like, a babysitting job, they had, like, babysitting groups. That's how I got my babysitting job.
Or, like, did your sorority, like, our sorority had a Facebook group?
Well, so, no.
Okay. Well, I guess, maybe we save that for the sorority episode.
Yeah, we had a group me. I also had group me for my sport when I was in high school.
I've heard of GroupMe, but I don't think I've ever actually used it.
So I'm in a GroupMe from a Facebook group. So do you know Jenna Palick?
No.
Okay, so she's dating like Connor from The Bachelor. So anyways, but she has a podcast called Fun on Weekdays.
Okay.
Which is amazing. And it's basically like exactly what it sounds like. Like her whole premise was like, oh, you can like, you don't have to go out on a Friday to have fun. Like you can go out on like a Wednesday with your friends, like whatever. So she actually just she just did an event here at Shore Club, like on the beach. Yeah, it was really cool. But she's like, you would love her because she's like all pink and orange and like colorful and like just like super fun. But she has a Facebook group for each city, and so then you join it, and then there's like a spreadsheet, and then you can join the GroupMe for like that.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never really used. I don't actually think I've ever used GroupMe.
I don't use it anymore, but when I was like in stuff.
Before we move on, any other thoughts on Facebook, Instagram?
I guess the only other thing I use Facebook for is like when I want to show people like baby pictures. Yeah. It's easy because I can just go to like mom's Facebook or like that's all there.
That's definitely a difference. I've been actually trying to dig up baby photos of my husband and I for our baby shower, and it is much tougher for me to find them. I mean, they only exist on Facebook if I literally took a picture of a physical photo and then uploaded it to Facebook. Yeah. Whereas, like, your generation, a little bit more so, and then, I mean, future generations, like, their entire childhood photos are going to be on social media. All right. Is it time to talk about TikTok?
Let's talk about TikTok.
I'm assuming that's if you're going to scroll, that's where you're going to scroll.
So that's where I scroll. Okay, I'm a little, like, worried about the TikTok because I'm, like, borderline addicted to it. Like, it's one of those apps that, like, it's like it just grabs your attention. Like,
that's the point, right?
We remember Vine.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I
never used Vine.
So Vine's like interesting because there were these like guys that like got super popular on Vine. It was MagCon, which were like all of these, which people in my generation will absolutely know what I'm talking about. Okay. But it's just like a group of guys, and this is where they got like their big break was on Vine. Okay. And they had YouTube channels, like all this stuff. And so then when Vine like stopped becoming a thing, actually I don't really know where I was going with this talking about them, but that's what I remember from Vine. But otherwise I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't a fun.
But then moving from Vine to TikTok.
Yeah, but there was an app, Musical.ly, that was like in between. Yeah. And TikTok bought Musical.ly because it literally just, the app changed. You didn't have to re-download anything. The app just changed from Musical.ly to TikTok. But Musical.ly was like taking videos of you like singing songs and like hand gestures and like that kind of thing. It was
Which is kind of how TikTok started.
Yeah, like
was the dancing.
Yeah, because I had Musical.ly and I would post it's like you move your phone with like your movements, and you were like, it was weird. Like if I could like.
I didn't do that at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll show you after. Maybe some people know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure people do. It's not me.
When we release this, I'll like remember to add on our story like what I'm talking about. Yeah. Maybe I have one like hidden. But yeah, TikTok like now it's like just so many different things.
And I do feel like both of our generations use it. I just think is different. Well, I think your generation is creating and mine is just consuming.
Yes, but I also think what's cool about TikTok is it curates to like what you want, like what you enjoy. So like my For You page, which is like I compare For You page to the Explore page of Instagram. Yep. Yeah. It's like what like you search, what you're like, I guess talk about, like what you're.
Yeah, and Instagram does that too, right? If I scroll on Instagram, if I'm not scrolling through people I follow and I'm scrolling the Explore page. Yeah. Right now, mine is literally every 4 out of 5 is about pregnancy. Yeah. And then the other ones are probably about cats.
So, like, my For You page, I actually this is super weird. Guilty pleasure of mine on TikTok is I really enjoy, like, mukbangs, like, watching people eat. It's very enjoyable, and I know people agree with me, because clearly people enjoy it, because a ton of people do it on TikTok.
Yeah, and if it's on your For You page, you're not the only one who likes it.
Yeah, I enjoy those.
Okay.
But I also just enjoy, like, I think we can talk about, like, you, like, learn a lot on TikTok. Like, I've learned a lot on TikTok.
Well, that is one thing. I have heard people are going there now to search things before they go anywhere else.
You were talking about that on your Instagram, and I was just also talking about that. I do that, and I don't even realize it. Like, I go on to, like, I was just in LA with my friend, and I wanted to go to a bagel place, right? In Santa Monica. And I could have easily gone on Google and been like, good bagel places in Santa Monica. No. I go on TikTok and I go, bagel Santa Monica, and it just flooded with all the same place, and we went, and it was amazing. It was Layla's Bagels, if anyone's had it. But, like, just, like, flooded with this place. And I was like, okay, I know where we're going.
And I was complaining because I went to Google something, and the result was a TikTok.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And I have the app because I have been tempted to use it for business, and ultimately have decided I don't really want to, and that's a whole nother topic we could talk about. But I have the app. So when I Googled my question, which I don't even remember what my question was at this point, but, like, there was, like, 1 or 2 blog posts, and then it was a TikTok. And I was like, I clicked on it because I wanted the answer. But then I was like, man, I don't want to be on this app.
I mean, there's just, like, everything, like, news. Like, I mean, everything is on TikTok.
Everything.
I post on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, a good amount.
That's probably the one you post on more than, like, Instagram.
No, I post funny stuff on TikTok, but, like, if I scroll, like, farther, like, transition videos, like, are fun. Like, I did, like, days in my life. Like, I don't know. It's fun. Okay. I enjoy it.
So I'll say one of the reasons why I don't want to post is that I feel like people on TikTok are mean.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, and I don't know if it's all just your generation or even, again, the generation below you has started. That's where they are. They're on TikTok, and they are ruthless. Yeah. And I've gone to, like, I've looked at comment sections of TikToks.
It's bad. I talked about this actually for, like, a school project when, like, this came out, because like, I guess you can say cyberbullying. I guess it's technically cyber on TikTok. It's outrageous.
It's out of control.
Like, I have had comments, like, blow up. I mean, like, I comment on someone's photo and I just got, like, 20,000 likes because my comment was funny. Then because my comment has 20,000 likes, the responses to them were like, are you stupid? Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Like, people are insane. And even when it's, like, a TikTok that, like, you know someone could say something bad, people could easily just keep scrolling and, like, instead of saying anything bad, they say, I'm just not going to say anything. Like, in the comment.
And
I'm like, bad. What?
We all, on every social media platform, you're going to scroll, you're going to see things that you don't like. I mean, I guess YouTube is technically social media maybe, but, like, you're going to see things you don't want to see, or you don't like, or you don't agree with. You don't need to be mean, but I feel like people on TikTok are mean.
I think TikTok, also something to say, is, like, the most public app. Like, I can't control, really, unless, like, if you're private on TikTok, like, and you want people to see your TikTok, the only people that are going to see it are the people that follow you. Right. So, like, I do have 600 followers on TikTok. I don't know who all 600 of them are. You kind of have to be public, and in that sense, like, yeah, it's just a ton of random people. Like, it's very public.
Right, and if they don't know you, they are more likely to say something not nice in response.
Actually, now that I think about Musical.ly again, I posted a Musical.ly when I was a freshman in college, and it got, like, 4,000 views or something, and I got, like, 300 likes, and I was, like, really famous. That's where my 600 followers are from.
Musical.ly.
Yes. And then it switched.
Yeah, that, I feel like that culture that TikTok has, where people are just bad. Like, okay with being mean, is one of the biggest reasons why I don't want to post there.
Like, I don't even know if we'll have a TikTok for this, because it's like,
it just, to me, it doesn't seem worth it for the benefit. To me, the negatives don't outweigh positives.
Yeah, I think it's really entertaining, but yeah, it's very public, and, like, the things that people say, like, it's so easy to hide behind, like, no profile, anonymous. Like, user 5678, like, like, okay. I think it's, like, for YouTubers, for example, there's YouTubers that'll get hate and, like, those kinds of things, but, like, I have the amount of, like, TikTok influencers that I've seen, like, they get, like, threats, like, it's, like, bad.
Yeah, it's definitely worse. I think on YouTube, it's also the people that it shows up for on YouTube, it's so much more likely that they're just going to resonate. Like, I feel like people also don't scroll the For You page equivalent on YouTube as often.
Correct.
Whatever that's called, whatever that page is called. And so it's not as many new people that find you, or when they do, they're really interested in your topic, so they're less likely to be mean. I mean, I have gotten hate on YouTube. That's happened. And I block those people and I move on. But once I blocked them, they don't pop back up. And I feel like on TikTok, you could block mean people and then they keep popping up because new people keep finding you.
End. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I guess that's what I mean by very public. It's just like, it's scary how easy it is to access. Like someone who's really popular in my generation is like Alex Earl. Like
I
on TikTok.
do not know who that is, but okay.
And she's like just out of nowhere just became like super famous.
Okay.
Like, and she like posts like "Get Ready with Me," like those are super popular. Like as soon as you know it, like she's like in Dubai for like Tarte. Like all these like influencers are sent to Dubai. Like it's so quick, and I feel like while a lot of people love her, like she still gets a ton of hate on her. It's just crazy.
And so you just have to decide if that's worth it. And I know a lot of these influencers like have decided, yes, it absolutely is worth it to be so big on TikTok and deal with the hate. I ultimately decided for my business it was not worth it. Yeah. It was not worth my mental health.
Yeah. Well, then Instagram decided to do Reels.
Yeah, Instagram created Reels, and so I started posting Reels.
And I thought it was so stupid. Like, I was like, why is Instagram
Well, but Instagram did that with Snapchat, right? Stories was a direct copy of Snapchat.
Instagram stays copied, but because they know, like, Instagram is the core.
Yep.
Clearly, we've discussed here, like, Instagram is the social media.
Yep. And so they took stories from Snapchat. They took Reels from TikTok. Now, the difference is, I think, taking stories from Snapchat kept my generation off of Snapchat. And because now I can post Instagram stories, I don't feel the need to own Snapchat. Well, not own, but be on Snapchat. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's necessarily true for TikTok. Just because Instagram created Reels, I think it kept some people off of TikTok, obviously me, but not everybody.
Yeah. Like, I know Mom, like, I'll send her TikToks and she'll watch them, but, like, she mostly uses, like, her Reel. Like,
I know. And speaking, though, of Mom and her generation, instead of sending it to me, does she do this to you? Instead of sending it via Instagram DM, she copies the link and sends it via text?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess speaking of Instagram stealing things from other people,
Twitter.
We still have Twitter, and then by default, Threads. I have never used Twitter.
Hate Twitter. Not a fan.
I got my business handle to have it. I think I posted like 3 things and was like, this is not for me, and I never opened it after that.
It's just like, I know for some people, like, okay, I will say for the short amount of time that I did have it, and I say short amount of time, I probably had it all of high school and stuff.
Okay.
But like, and yeah, it was funny, but like, I just think it's, like, if I had to get rid of an app, it would have been that, and I did.
I'm much more of a photo video person. Obviously, maybe I have a YouTube channel than I am a words person. I've never been a words. I don't like writing. It's not my thing. So that's what it felt like Twitter was all about. And so it never really fit for me. I do know people use Twitter a lot too for news. I was just talking to our brother the other day, and he was like, I use it for news and sports updates and things like that. And I was like, well,
like, if something happens and first thing on TikTok is that for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
because that's a whole nother topic, is using social media for news. But now that Instagram stole Twitter's idea and created Threads, again, as of the recording of this episode, it's been like 4 days. So we still have no idea what's going to happen.
Like, it's fine, but like because not enough people have it now, like my feed is just like all random people, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I liked that I didn't have to create a new account, and I could just transfer over Instagram.
I liked how it said, like, do you want to follow all your followers? And like, yeah, cool.
And vice versa. Like, people just have followed me because they followed me on Instagram. And so I do think, and now, again, I don't know if this is a generational thing. I'm not having the issue you're having. My feed, and it could be the type of people I follow, whether it's businesses or business owners, etc. But my feed is pretty much all people I follow at this point. It's been 4 days, and I don't see any new people on my feed.
Even my, like, best friends, like, don't have it yet.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, it is. Because I don't think it's, like, super appealing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, I'm good with Twitter. Like, I don't really care to do it. Like, I also hate how it has, like, the number I am in my Instagram bio.
You can remove that.
Okay, I will be doing that.
Yeah, you can take that out. I saw somebody share how to do that. You don't have to keep that there. Although it is kind of cool. We have a pretty low. We're pretty close, but we have pretty low numbers in the grand scheme of the users.
In the 4
millions. Yeah.
My friend was in the first 500,000.
That's cool.
And he posted a really funny thread, and I was like laughing so hard. It was like, well, I was the, like 485,000th, blah, 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 blah. Like, so if anyone needs any help, just let me know. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're the expert.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. But I do think even just moving over to that new platform, my generation was a lot more excited about it. And I think it kind of circles back to the Facebook status era that we just did status updates on Facebook when we were in high school and college. And that's how I've been treating Threads, is just like a status update. I posted song lyrics yesterday. I felt like such a teenager again. And your generation didn't ever have that vibe. Like, you've always done photo video.
All of my threads so far are, I hated Twitter, so like, why do I have this? Like, my other one was like, oh my God, I'm using this more than TikTok. What's going on? My other one was like, I'm about to turn the notifications off on this app. It's going insane. That's it.
I posted
literally me complaining about the app.
And I posted like 5 a day since it launched.
Going to bed.
Yeah.
Here's my end of the night like snacks, and it's like Tums. I'm like, yeah. I get that.
I do.
I literally have a picture of myself with the Tums and being like, snack time.
The pregnancy heartburn is real. I also have still been posting photos on Threads. Like, I haven't totally left photos, but I'm definitely less curated, obviously, than I am on Instagram with the photos that I post on Threads. So we'll see how that ends up. I feel like this episode is already incredibly long, even though
we could probably go for a part 2 on this.
We probably could go for a part 2.
Because I was just thinking about something else with Instagram.
Well, say it.
Okay, here. I was thinking about like, so I have like also a group chat on Instagram.
Oh.
Like in DMs.
Yeah.
And that my friends and I will see some like memes or like funny things. But like also Instagram has the feature where you can send like a photo and you just open it once, like Snapchat. Like if you send a photo
and DMs. Yeah.
So again,
Instagram has stolen everything from everybody at this point.
Yeah.
I would love to hear any thoughts you all have about social media. Again, share what generation you are. What's your favorite social media platform? Any other comments, thoughts, stories? And maybe we'll just do a part 2, kind of also pulling in some of your comments and stories.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Because I definitely think we could go on and on about this for a very long time.
I think we even did like a Q&A, like when I came on your like Lattes with Lakin.
Oh yeah.
And like I really feel like
we talked a lot about social media.
The whole entire episode was about social media. Well, and this is what like sparked the conversation, because someone said like, what is it like being in 2 different generations? And I feel like also we're not the like sisters like us. There's other people out there like this. So
yeah, we've already had people tell us like, oh my gosh, me and my sister are this many years apart, and we're also 2 different generations. Yeah. So that we will also have to include at some point as like your stories too. But I think for now, we are going to wrap this one up, trying to keep it a nice listening length for you. So I think that's going to be it. Excited to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See ya.